Hello, gentle viewers. This is Abgardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 24, the home of the Prague Metropolitans and the never sufficiently damned Varna Dolphins. Boo. Boo. Okay. I'm mostly mad because their logo is so fucking cool, but, regardless, here we are. It is the off season. Well, it will be off season in one day, so let's get that done. And then we're gonna. Okay, Sal Lopez has a team. Who are you? What? Huh? Who are you? Oh, I think you are a situation where my second baseman got hurt. I mean, he didn't even play in the majors the entire season, so I think voiding the contract is reasonable. We've got to hire some new people. We got to deal with money. It's problematic, to say the least. Oh my god, this is incredible. What? When did they add this? Oh, this is so good. This is so good. Like, I never knew I needed this until right now. But holy fuck, do I need this. It's so easy now to see who's asking for a redonkulous salary and who's asking for very little. That's wild. I never knew I wanted this change, but I love it. It is my everything. I would consume a porpoise to defend it. Especially a Varna porpoise. And yes, I would do it on porpoise. Oh, I love my life sometimes. Okay. Our next step is to find competent people to fill important jobs. This is a very important piece of our deal. Now, I believe my manager... Oh, he wants the hitting coach. So I can't hire a new hitting coach. I've got to go for the gusto for other peoples. Benjamin Harrer is fine, but I really want to get some top tier coaches into our system. Let's begin with Vanyusha Pyakin. I will offer you some shiny pennies to join us. So Angus Koss is a really solid all-around coach. But I do like the Jacques Robert deal here. Just because they're also, like, they're good across the board at this step, and I think that's very helpful for a bench coach. So let us offer you some cash. Scouting director, we cannot skimp here. It is impossible to skimp on the scouting director. Ross Sincox seems like the pretty clear choice. I like that he highly favors ability, which means he's likely to find us players that are close to being big performers quite soon. He's good at scouting. Yeah, he's just the best option. Let's offer him money to be our scout. Alright, back to the coaching ratings. Give me that mechanics boost, yo. Let's get Mr. Dunkel and offer you a job as a manager. Let's get Eckert Unger. And then Calvino Torjani. Oh, I literally wasn't even looking at the right person. That's silly of me. Let's offer... Oh, Eckert Unger is already being offered a job. That's right. Let's get Jean-Baptiste Madonia. Just mostly for that amazing name, but also because I think he's genuinely a good choice. Alright, now I get to the part of the offseason I've been kind of dreading, which is, how on earth can we afford this team? The short answer to the question is we can't. We cannot afford to be paying this many players that much money. So we've got to start figuring out, A, who we can sign longish term to give us a little bit of cost certainty, but also who is actually worthy of a longer term commitment. So, to be clear, we cannot afford all of these players. It is not a possibility. If that's what we're starting with, we're doomed before we start. I could risk keeping the team together at these redonkulous salaries, but to be perfectly honest, we can't afford that. So we're going to need to take some of these players, turn them into prospects, and see where that gets us. So let us begin, first of all, with determining, is there anybody here who's absolutely critical to this team's future success? The obvious play here is Gavin Miller. Gavin Miller is an elite talent at second base. But you know what his most elite skill is? Being fucking hurt all the time. And this would just bring us into one of these really crazy situations, which is, can we afford not to have him? He's such a good player. I cannot tell you how completely and utterly insane it is to be worth almost 3 wins playing 40 games of Major League Baseball. That is insane. He has nearly generated double the value in 20 fewer games than he got from his amazing rookie season. However, actually, I take that back. Before we make any kind of big decisions, we should wait until our new scouting director arrives. Then we can make some better informed decisions. Oh, I do need to activate people, don't I? Okay, people are thinking. A gold glove for Jacob Jacobson. Very fine. Very fine indeed. Okay, Eckert Unger has offered more money. I cannot offer this job to him. I would extremely like to have this guy ruined, though. Because because he's such a good coach, right? Like, he is such a good coach. But I think he wants a major league hitting coach job, and I can't do anything about that. Only one platinum stick. Mr. Malik Berte. It's kind of wild, actually. Kind of real wild. Alright, we have Mr. Ross Sincox, which now gives me the flexibility to ask my head scout for information. Alright, so who is the unstoppable beating heart of the Prague Metropolitans? Whom can we not proceed without? I probably need to keep either Gabriel Moberg or Gavin Miller. Okay, so first things first, I cannot trade Gavin Miller yet because he's still hurt. Okay. This is a really tricky situation because I have so many players that are all of elite potential and elite talent. And we're gonna make the team worse no matter what I do this offseason. That's what we kind of have to come to grips with. There is no move I can make to make this team better because of this wacky salary situation where all the players make way too much money. Keenan O'Reilly is a weird dude. He's not a very good hitter. He is a very good shortstop. But he's probably best suited to being like your middle infield, your backup, rather than your primary. Because he hasn't hit very well in the major leagues. He did okay in his first season, but since facing tougher competition, he struggled a bit. But he's also peanuts. I need to find a player that makes a lot of money and decide to move on from them. So Neil DeHaan is perhaps the first and most obvious choice here. Neil DeHaan's salary is going to very nearly double. And so I think we have to trade him. That said, you're also freaking good. Valentin Schmidt is by far the least likely to repeat their past season. Leading the league in innings pitched is great, but doing it as a 32-year-old is not a great growth model. So I think we're going to start by trying to trade Valentin Schmidt. I'm going to very deliberately look for prospects. I think that's the first and most important step to our future happiness, is to find quality prospects to fill important roles. All right, Pavlo Merkushin is a reasonably competent reserve outfielder. And there's value in that, but I'm not going to go to bat for that. Adrian Sandaya is a very good hitter that probably can't be a catcher. Gregor Binkerhoff is pretty talented, I suppose. Jedrzej Shemilovich here is very interesting to me. He is the very definition of a lower tier starting pitcher. This concerns me significantly. A right-handed starter being a sidearmer is not a good thing. I guess an Adam Keeley makes some sense. He's a fairly decent catcher, and I could use a better backup. Because Moberg ain't catching anymore. So I guess we go with him. And maybe see if I can get you to toss in a couple of extra prospects. I would give up a lot for Stephen McLean. He's durable. He's got a great pitch mix. He's an outstanding pitcher. So let's talk about players I'm willing to cough up. What if I offered you Neil DeHaan as well? Yeah, that's the issue, right? A guy like Stephen McLean is too much to ask for. So I think we go ahead. Can I get at least like a second tier prospect, like a Sam DeWeerd, maybe? He's far less interesting, but he is at least competent. I'm not giving you a prospect. It cannot be done. This is too much into my old type with slap-hitting outfielders. I mean, having him is better than not having him, but he's not really a deal breaker or a deal maker. Fine. I will add Philip Figlev because I have no desire to keep him anyway. Wow, apparently Philip Figlev was a giant jackass. Good to know. Alright, we have slightly trimmed payroll. It's got to keep coming, though. And here's the problem. Very few players can afford these elite top-line players. Very few teams, excuse me. So we're probably going to have to end up non-tendering them. Which isn't a great look. Sorry. Mr. Mulan, I would like to trade you, please. Now, this is interesting. I'm getting a whole lot more offers for Mr. Mulan here. Alright, so the early favorite might be Bernd Tonquist, if not for his weak control numbers. I want somebody who's fairly plug-and-play, if I'm going to get a starting pitcher, or I want an elite prospect. Somebody who can be part of the next amazing team. You're a very strong overall hitter, and yet I feel concerned. Alright. What if I asked for Verduska and Vadovin? I can have one or the other, but not both. What if I asked for a un package of prospects to try to mitigate my risk a bit? Like, to a certain degree, we're trapped. Like, there's nothing I can do to make this seem better in the short term. I already said that. But there's also nothing I can do to win these trades. I'm quite literally, like, almost being forced to make a trade. You are a weird dude. Like, go home, game, you're drunk. How are you that bad as an outfielder? Like, it's yakety sacks all the time with that guy in left field. Spitzner has the important advantage of also being a starting pitcher. It's going to take him a bit to develop, but he's already started developing. I think this is probably the deal I have to take. And here's the thing, like, this is going to completely destroy our fan interest over time, and I can't stop doing it. Like, these are not starting pitchers I can afford to keep. Next up on the agenda, I absolutely cannot make this deal. You're not going to get $13 million from anybody. What are you smoking? Like, what? I think all these players are making a very strange decision that they're just going to demand for the moon and hope they get it, and I don't think they understand how little leverage they actually have. Like, nobody can afford you at these prices. Literally nobody. Okay, Helmer just gets non-tendered. I hate it, but I can't pay for him to maybe pitch in a year. I would like to keep both Fisher and Pettit. You get your arbitration estimate and not a penny more. Really? Okay. I want to keep the bullpen. If we can. I think Viora is one of the players we have to keep, both because he's a really good hitter, but also because he helps the rest of the team. Alright. Gabriel Moberg, I really can't afford to pay exorbitant fees for a first baseman. I mean, Garrick Faber is redonkulously overcompensated for what he is, which is admittedly the ideal leadoff man. Like, he gets on base at a ridiculous clip, he's a great player, and he wants to get paid like one of the best players in the league. And that is just not a thing I can afford to do. Again, you have a comically inflated view of your actual talent level that I cannot afford to indulge in. I'm non-tendering Garrick Faber. It sucks. I hate to do it. No, I can wait the 2 weeks to trade him. I don't have to worry about that right now. Okay, so the fans are happy about picking up a couple of extensions, which is great news. I still got a lot of money to free up, though. I'm going to have no pitching staff next season. I can't afford Garrick Faber. He's still injured, though, which means I can't trade him yet. Shit. I'm just gonna have to non-tender people. I hate making people free agents this early in their careers, but I can't not do it. I'm gonna release these guys now. Because I can't trade them. Yeah, the fans are gonna be real annoyed with me. Oh dear. I'm unhappy too, but that's what happens when we have no budget. I cannot let Neil Dahan go for nothing. That's one thing I cannot afford to do. I have to get something decent in return for him, up to and including regular players. A Noah closer is not what I'm looking for. Bohan Smith, again, is reasonably competent. I'm not sure reasonable competence is what I'm looking for, though. I do need a new shortstop. If I can get one that hits even a little bit and play shortstop with some skill. Mr. Kirschbaum here seems like a pretty fair bet. Umberto? No, I think Mr. Kirschbaum is the choice here. I strongly advise against making the deal too, but unfortunately... Yeah, I'm just gonna make the deal. Hey, the fans love Kirschbaum, so that's fun. Oh, I meant to add Mr. Adam Keeley. Alright, how much money do I have now? I still have no money for extensions. I have absolutely no cost certainty at all. This is fine. Hmm. Alright, Crean and O'Reilly, I will keep you for 1 year just because I need somebody to play baseball. I'm gonna keep Moberg too. Okay, this deal's actually fairly reasonable given a player of his caliber. It's just too long. So how's about we go 5 years and we add in another team option? That deal actually seems fairly reasonable. He's a great hitter with elite power, and I think he will thrive. Yes. Naronin, I will give you 1.5 million. Fisher, I'll give you 550. 500 is fine. I'm not gonna quibble about nickels and dimes here. You really think Francois Petit can be a starter? I mean, I'm willing to try. Because we have shed a lot of payroll for a lot of players that are nowhere near the major leagues. Like, we've got genuinely a really strong farm system. And we have 3 middling starting pitchers now. We could try starting the clock on Spitzsander early, but I genuinely don't think that's an option for us. Alright, people are signing contracts. Finish is still comically high. Let's... Okay, what are the people London paying for tickets? They're paying $8. Paris is paying $8. Okay. You know what, fuckos? We're gonna crank up ticket prices a bit. I know, this is like genuinely a shitty idea. Like, you just cut the payroll to the bone and you're raising ticket prices, but we have to make more money. In order for the owner to be less of a bitch and let us actually have our players. Madrid would like to keep you. Are you a special dude? Are you a good lad, Reese Dyson? You are an excellent lad, Reese Dyson. I would like to keep you around, please. We just picked up the Copenhagen Shipwrights and the Vienna Artists. Okay. Got some free agents joining. Very nice. Very, very nice. Alright. So we have one season starting pitcher and a bunch of garbage. We have a team of baseball players that I think we can count on some of them. Possibly. We have too many catchers, that's for certain. I need some reliable major leaguers, and I think trading a player like Muscolo might be a way to accomplish that. I need regulars, my friend. I need competent regulars. Otto Kaiserling is the very definition of a competent regular. And he would instantly become a centerpiece. He's also redonkulously expensive. So if I'm playing this game, you're eating some or most of his salary. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't make this deal. I can't afford to absorb that kind of salary and thereby crippling the team. I'd love to pick up a starting pitcher if I could. Or failing getting a good starting pitcher, an elite reliever would also be helpful. Simon Franks isn't the worst idea. Joel Pascal is a starter. It's a bit of a risk picking up somebody like him, but I think it's worth it. The risk, by the way, is the fact that he doesn't have a reliable third pitch, but he's already started with some level of success, and I think it's worth bringing him in. He's not overpaid. He's just a guy. Okay, we do have some money for extensions if we want to try to keep anybody. I would love to keep Viora. I think of all of our maybe not Viora. Jordan Gilmore we're not keeping. I mean, how much would it cost me to keep him? Oh god. He basically thinks his salary should double. I think that's a terrible risk. I can't afford that shit either. Like, I think as a whole, players in this league are going to find themselves sorely frustrated when trying to find good prices for players. That's just my take on the whole thing. Oh, that's right. You guys don't even want to think about signing with me because I cut you. That's fair. I presently have 9 pitchers. I would love, if we can manage it, another 1 to 2. I could find these pitchers in the Rule 5 draft. In fact, that may actually be the direction I'm going. Just to try to fill holes. Because I really want to make sure we're funding player development and scouting adequately. In fact, let me fix scouting real fast. Give me that. I definitely want plenty of minor league scouting. Let's cut back a bit on international to get a bit more for minor league scouting. I'm going to have no bankable stars in another year. And I guess it just seems we have to keep... So here's what gives me some life. The fact is that other teams are in this exact same boat. And that's going to ultimately be the crazy bullshit of this. Like, frickin' Gavin Miller thinks he's worth $8 million. Nobody can afford to pay him $8 million. Let's take a stroll down front office lane, shall we? I have $6 million to spend. Almaty has 5. Athens has no money. Bratislava has 3. Bucharest has no money. Cardiff has barely any money. Copenhagen has no money. Dublin has little money. Glasgow is the only team that's got a lot of money and could maybe pick up a quality player or two. They're one of the few exceptions. Kiev has a lot of money for extensions, but not a lot for free agents, which is kind of wild. London has a bit of money. Paris has no money. I have a fair bit. St. Petersburg is kind of rolling in. St. Petersburg can make a play or two. The Dolphins are crashing. The artists aren't that... So here's what I hope you guys are realizing through our quick tour of the league there. Nobody has the kind of money to pay any player $10 million a year. Nobody does. So I'm really interested to see how this economics are going to work out, because they're not going to be able to keep what they want to keep. It's just not feasible. So I'm going to be curious to see what happens to these players. It's going to be interesting. I want to really quickly shortlist a couple of free agents. I want to shortlist all three of my dudes and see how much they actually sign for. Because I'm curious. I am curious. A 1-year deal for a pretty solid relief pitcher actually makes a lot of sense to me. It's the kind of money I do want to be spending. But I'm not giving you a 3-year deal. You're getting a 1-year deal. You really want them 3 years, don't you? I want 2 team options if I'm giving you 3 years. I'm pretty sure there are no Hall of Famers, so we're just going to go right up to the winter meetings. Wait, what? Somebody has actually signed Garrick Faber. Now, see, if this is the contract he asked for from me, I would have given it to him. Oh, I completely forgot to check into this shit. Oof. Can I just run the same international scouting thing again? It's going to really be interesting to see how this all works out. And Gavin Miller won't even talk to me, right? Yeah, you're pissed because I cut you. Which is, you're fine. You're entitled to your own opinion. I'm not going to overpay for a shortstop. I've learned that lesson. Jurgen Busch is actually a very competent starting pitcher. Oh, you won't even talk to me because you don't like Goro. I don't think it's worth it. I definitely don't want to lose the draft pick, so I think we'll just proceed. We get Sorzano. Add you to the active roster. Rule 5 draft time. What positions do I most need to fill? What do I need to achieve to fill out my roster? I got plenty of outfielders. There's no question about having enough outfielders. My starting third base right now is Evo Jordan. I don't feel amazing about that. I wouldn't mind getting a quality infielder. Martin Brown is not that guy. Martin Brown is defense only. We hate that here. We want decent hitters who can also play a position. I don't need more outfielders, though. It's my issue. Like, there's a whole bunch of mediocre starting pitchers I could give a tryout to. Like, what about a David Pablo? He sucks. He's a reliever, is what he is. I guess when we converted him into a reliever, we'd have something, maybe? Eh. But yeah, these are not good players. These are not quality players that are being offered. So I think we will politely decline the entire Rule 5 draft. Xavier is actually a very talented player, so hats off to them. Gavin Miller got a big time price. Nobody was eligible. Why can't you have a breaking ball? Please. I mean, I guess I've got to do something to try to get a competitive advantage, or maybe a pitcher that doesn't have a breaking ball is that thing. I'll spend 450 grand on that. Why not? That seems fair. Why do people love them some Paul Fogarty so much? He's an okay outfielder. I'm not that convinced he's all that special. Jonathan Gonzalez's elite power makes him very valuable. I think I will happily offer him $430,000. And I guess I will at least kick the tires on some of these other guys. A player like this at third base wouldn't be a terrible choice. Oh, they'll put me over the cap. Huh. Let's get Simeon Zuniga. I think that's a fair decision, and we'll see how many of those guys sign. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to give you 800 grand. That is not money that I can afford to spend. Jonathan Gonzalez is also getting a lot of money. Yeah, y'all can get fucked. You've all clearly decided that you want to try to make more money, and that's fine, but I can't afford that. I don't have the pool money for that. Okay, so we are actually making a profit, which means I could increase player development. Yeah, let's kick this up to 5 million. Let's try to make sure that our prospects actually get better. That, I think, is the most critical piece to us being a successful franchise going forward. Even more so than just picking up, say, the odd free agent. How much money do I practically have to spend before the owner gets cranky and starts cutting my budget? I can basically spend $3 million if I were so inclined. I mean, you're not even talking to me, so you don't actually know how far apart we are. This is going to be interesting. I don't think anyone's going to sign Heimer, or he might come back to me and be like, please bring me back. Or Helmer. I've been calling him Helmer this whole time. Johnny Turbo is, to be clear, a pretty badass name. I think we can all agree on that one. I think we can. Jordan Gilmore gets worse. I can't say I'm surprised. Jesus Guzman getting better is something I didn't anticipate. It's already paying off, guys. It's already paying off. Aguilar teaches catching. Anson Fisher teaches infield. Robert teaches outfield. And you can also teach base running. There we go. You would give me Martin Fox, who's literally terrible. There's nothing redeeming about Martin Fox. I can't even call him properly Foxy, so no. You can take a flying leap into a rolling donut. And of course, Gabriel Moberg, the one player who signs a longer-term deal, is the one who's just the worst. But, okay. It's fun. Wow, Benjamin Spitzanner. Now that we have accurate scouting, all of a sudden looks like a dumpster fire. I love hearing that. I love it. I love that he went from an elite player to a player with no control whatsoever. That's what everybody wants in their pitching, right? People that don't throw strikes, that sounds important. I will give Mr. Spitzanner, I see no reason not to give him some spring training reps, potentially. Oh my god, this is the day before spring training. I just put people on the 30-man roster for no reason and started their clocks. Game, that was a dirty trick. That was a dirty fucking trick. I'm not pleased. But here we are. Here we are. Yeah, we're going to be bad for a very long time, I think. Once some of these guys find other organizations, I think we're going to be very terrible for quite a while. Oh, you're a follower. That's how you have them set up. I see. Okay. This is such a truly bizarre setup, and I kind of love it. It's also very strange, but I do kind of enjoy it. Like, we ain't gonna be great forever. Oh, Gavin Miller. Are you even trying if you're not instantly injured all the time? Ooh, Matthew Merlan is throwing harder. That's good to see. I am seeing some green pluses. That does make me happy. It does please me. But maybe not as much as having a bit more money to sign good players. All right. We have 13 pitchers. That means we can at most send down 2 of them. That's going to be Spitzaner for 1. And probably 0 for 2. So this is your pitching staff with 11 pitchers. We I do think 4 catchers is excessive. I think we keep Keeley and Viora. We sent down Alchongian. David and Jarvie can go to the minors. Cohen Van Sloten is fine, but that's about all I can say about him. Watali can go to the minors. We can send down Efimov. That gets us to 25. Cool. That's exactly what I wanted. You can't prove I didn't. I do appreciate the economics of the game, though. I do appreciate that the game very accurately forced players to come to terms with their frankly ridiculous salary demands. The Prague Metropolitans have the number 6 free team. How good are we going to be? I genuinely don't know. We do have a fair bit of talent. Even still. Much of which will not survive the year. I have very little money for extensions. So yeah. We're just going to have to see what happens this year. I mean, hell, we just heard 20 runs in a game, so clearly we're doing something right. Oh dear. Well, 2 players, one of them one of our better relievers, and the other one a very talented player in his own right. Orphanides, you're in. We just need bodies. The warmest of bodies. I feel bad for Gavin Miller. Like, as much as I feel some Schadenfreude, there is a fair bit of Schaden in there. It's not all Freude. You're just day-to-day. That's fine. Okay. Lenglet is already getting a lot better. Before too much longer, he's going to be one of our most important players. I wonder if I can get you to sign a long-term contract right now for some, like, tiny salary. What if we do 6 years? The owner will never sign off on this, though. Yeah. Oh well. We can try again later. Mayhap. I think with the effective redistribution of talent, it's going to be incredibly challenging to build any kind of real super team. But I could be wrong. How has Mr. Orphanides pitched? Quite poorly. Quite poorly. You can return to the minors then. Pennington. You didn't even take down a good player. If you're gonna get suspended, do it like kicking their ace right in the balls. Like right on the mound. Like, make it hurt. We are slowly seeing some development, though. And we're seeing some pitchers start to throw a lot harder, which is going to make them even more productive. Is this what we're missing in the Oakland A's, by the way? The Oakland A's videos? I'm not spending enough time on or money on that stuff. Who knows? Alright. Well, let's see what's going well. Well, we're murdering baseballs at a fairly high rate. I love how Kenneth Stoinenberg just randomly became a third baseman and is just destroying baseballs. That's pretty funny. That wasn't even the first job I had in mind for you, but I guess it seems to work alright. The pitching is kind of ass, which is not unexpected. It is not unexpected. But the hitting is phenomenal. Of course, the most expensive player on the Metropolitans is the one that's performing the poorest, but, you know... Whoops. Yeah, I mean, this is just the reality we face right now. All of my pictures are badly overstretched relievers that happen to be starting because no one else can do the job. Joel Pascal is both striking at more people than he's walking. Francois Petit is doing okay. He's a good in. Oh, Bajrami is literally starting because that's how bad off we are. We need a starting pitcher. We need one badly. Is there one available? Bonet is too weak, but he is definitely a maybe. I'm gonna send down Andre Barbier and I'm gonna call up Spitzanner and see if that changes anything. It does pull Bajrami out of the rotation, and I think that's actually a good thing. I think he'll be much more suited to that particular role. I still need to get at least one more starting pitcher. So let's quickly check the free agent market. I like how his value just keeps dropping and he's just like, no, I will not sign with you. You're mean. Like, okay, bro. Am I that desperate for pitching? I don't think I'm that desperate for pitching. Who we got? I mean, I would pay a hefty price for Vincent Ocroge, but it'll only be a 1-year rental, and I don't think that's an appropriate idea. Matt Ladden is far more likely to be the kind of guy that I can both afford and I'm willing to trade for. No, you want a great player right now. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to sacrifice my offense to improve my pitching. Yeah, there isn't anybody. Okay. We'll wait till closer to the trade deadline. Maybe some peers will open up. Maybe I can get a good starting pitcher in the draft. Possible, but unlikely. It's not just possible. It's possible. Right. Okay. There is no way in hell somebody doesn't take Domenico Modano. Like, first overall. Like, he's just that bloody good. Okay. I feel like we want somebody at least somewhat developed. Scheld Vanderheiden would be very good, if not for two things. One, his control is very subpar. Two, he only has one breaking pitch and it's not that great. He is left-handed, however. So there's some attraction to that. There is Manlio Fangio, who's an amazing outfielder, for certain. I think we've got to invest in a pitcher. I don't think I can afford to take any other position right now. Geomar Amakapane does have that breaking pitch, so I think we go with him. And I'm going to go ahead and take Morel, too. That seems pretty reasonable. Merrill Young keeps falling. I think he's a perfectly fine player, and I think he would make a fine addition to our club. Valo Varacalio, is a two-way star, and I think that's interesting and valuable enough that I will happily offer him a contract if he wishes it. Yoel Danila is not a shortstop. That's a second baseman's profile if I've ever seen one. I'm willing to take a chance on this bat, though, and see what he can do if given an opportunity. Bobby Bali is fine. Like, it's not a bad thing to have a player like that on your club. It's just not gonna change your fortunes that much. I'm just gonna go ahead and let you auto-draft the rest of the rounds as a treat. Everybody I offered in the first 7 rounds is going to get a contract. Maybe everybody gets a contract. Maybe I just sign a bunch of warm bodies and hope that our player development system can turn them into reasonable major league players. Maybe that's the plan. I'm not going to sign 35s. I don't have that much money. So if they're only a 35 or lower, I'm not going to bring them in. I think a lot of these guys can just return to high school and maybe develop a bit more. Okay. Cool. Let's go up to July. Nice. Player development. Okay. Where are all my newbies hanging out? So Morel and Amakapani are both in AAA already, which is wonderful. It's lovely. One does love to see it. I don't want to rush to make any changes yet, but I do have a sneaking suspicion that especially if Amakapane can improve a little bit, I think he could be hitting the major leagues very soon. Unless you can pick up a guy in trade. I think that would be my one caveat to that. If I can get a starter in trade, so I don't have to spend a bunch of money on it, then that's fine. Okay. None of my players are in the top 10. This saddens and disgusts me. Alright. So first question is, do we keep Gianluigi Goro? He's an okay manager, and he's won Manager of the Year 3 years in a row. I don't have any kind of hatred for him. And he did pick actually a really excellent hitting coach, so maybe it's actually fair to keep him around. You're gone. You're only good at prevention. I don't think that's useful. I never even ended up signing 2 coaches. I feel kind of terrible now. Borax, Vanek, welcome. Somebody's got to be our coach. And Bertoni. These are genuinely terrible coaches, but that's what happens when you're not paying close enough attention. You sign terrible coaches. Christian Lazar is perfectly fine. I don't see any real reason not to give him an extension. An Eddie Edwards is destined to be a legend. Do we keep our manager? I see no reason why we can't. But if I continue to get free agents that won't sign with us because of him and his horrible vices, then that's what it is. Ugh, fine. There. Jordan Gilmore would like to come back. Here's the thing, I don't want you back. The only thing you are at this point is an innings eater. That's the only thing you have. And I don't think that's enough. I think I can't afford to spend money on that. Dude. Fine, I will keep raising the salary until you accept my offer. Or is the problem that I'm just offering them the same thing over and over again? Is keep being like, nope. Sure, you can have 10,500. Oh my god. Fine. Just take the fucking deal. Camp 7 grand. I don't even care, dude. Just take the bloody deal. I don't know why you think you have me over a barrel, but you don't. Lucian Bertoni, I will not offer you any more money. I will find somebody else because you're not that special. You're acting like you're the best coach in Major League history, and that's not accurate. So here, boom. I think I'm also offering people salaries that are on other teams and they have jobs already, and maybe that's something they're considering, like they like the team they're on already. Did you really get a better offer today? You can have 18,000, and I swear that's all you're getting. If you don't take it, then that's your lookout. Well, that's one coach that finally took the damn deal. I'll show you where to fucking sign. You can sign my ass. That's hilarious. And I love how you thought you were getting $8 million a year and you get $1.2 million. Hats off to you for getting anything. But yeah, I think you made a critical error in overestimating how much of your actual leverage you had. Vinny Sorzano and Soranzo, excuse me, and good friend Voito Norinen both made it. Egidio Viora made it. Malik Berta and Ivan Lenglet both made it. As did Xenophon Monomachus. Nice. Nice. Gerard has to be one of the Frenchest names I've ever heard. It is very nearly maximum French when you think about it. Okay, good talk. Good talk. We need a starting pitcher or 7 if we're going to have any chance. Okay, that's not a starting pitcher. That is equally not a starting pitcher. So that's a no from me, dog. Nope. I get that they're not asking for much, but I'm not giving away fairly talented players for basically no benefit, right? Like, I need starting pitching, and I understand that I am absolutely no leverage. I could trade Moberg. That would be funny. I don't think so, though. I could offer you a prospect. Your very own prospect. What would you say to Jens Bennick? Okay, that apparently is enough to get you super excited. I can't give you pitching as the thing. Not unless I'm fairly sure that picture will never amount to anything. Spitzaner is that picture. Alright. So for a mediocre pitcher, we get a really good pitcher. I think that's a nice upgrade for us. I love it. So what else do we want? You're a very talented player. I don't know why you're even being offered. And you're cheap, too. Very cheap. I'm not going to trade for Gideon Keating. As much as another pitcher would be even better, I can't afford to just go into an even worse situation for arbitration next season. A Stanislav Lechuga is a very fine possibility. You're not getting Pettit, but I would trade you a lesser prospect. Something on the order of an Andre Barbier. Eh. I'm not so enthused by him that I'm willing to make that a thing. Who is actually on the trading block? I guess this would be an excellent question. I'm not going to sell out for a championship. If I'm trading for a player, I want somebody that I have a reasonable amount of control over. I think that's kind of my price right now. If I'm trading for a player, it can't be somebody who's going to be amazing and then gone. It's got to be somebody that I have a little bit of control over. There's so much to like about you. But I'm already fairly deep in outfielders. So... Sylvan Coulson is not terrible, I suppose. Like, a guy like an Ed Farley is somebody I would actually consider. But again, it's adding salary without making our team cost controlled in the future. To that end, no, I don't have any money for frickin' extensions right now because of all this nonsense. It's fine. Antonio Gonzalez is so stinking cheap. What if I did trade Gabriel Moberg? What manner of beast could I acquire in the pitching realm for that? David Salas is fine. Vladimir Lushakov, I actually quite like you. You're very middle of the road, but you're actually still quite good despite that. And you're durable too. Damn it. What was I doing? I was trading Gabriel Moberg for that elusive. Here you go. There's a lot to like about Lushakov, actually. Jurgen Busch is fairly inexpensive and cost controlled. He's not any better than Lushakov, though, who's actually just worth the league minimum. Let's get Lushakov. And then let's turn around and trade a pitcher for a hitter. Probably Gilmore, actually. I wonder what you could acquire for me in the batting market. Only expensive players that I have no desire to keep. I guess ask a stupid question, get a stupid answer. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense to me. I guess I could just carry 12 pitchers. I suppose that's reasonable. That is a thing that could be done. I still can't actually assign anybody to a longer contract, which is funny. Because all the players we're acquiring have even higher costs in the arbitration market. So let us end. Why do we have 8 of these Sims? Like, we don't trade enough. Okay, like, Nicholas Robin is a reasonably good player. I'm not opposed to adding him. I mean, Guillaume Richard is certainly not going to be anything special, so I guess we can make this trade. Just for the sake of making it. Cohen Van Slutton, I can send you to the minors. That seems fair. Is there another player that I want to trade? I do just want to get rid of Jordan Gilmore, but I very wisely recognize that's not likely to happen. Nobody's likely to do me that favor, taking him off my hands. Wish my owner weren't so obsessed with profit. But here we are. I just finished today. I've got the trades in that I wanted to get done. Luckily, it gave me a trade proposal that I can't actually respond to. Because I might have actually done it, but we'll never know now. Let us simulate through the month of August. Okay, Ludovico Bonet throwing harder is very exciting news. Okay, this is where I was hoping we would get a big boost to our rotation. I already have a guy that's a 40 out of 60. And I have no desire to rush him right now, but his time is coming very quickly, which I do enjoy quite a lot. This, not so much. I wonder if the issue was that we weren't allocating enough money to scouting, and so we were tricked. Heckin' bamboozled, if you will. And I think I will. But we do have some genuinely decent prospects now that I think may have a quicker path to the major leagues now. Like a bit more seasoning for Ludovic Bonet and Jomar Amakapane, or maybe even Amachapane, I'm not sure. That's just scary, y'all. In a good way. Okay, let us now advance. Yeah, I don't care. You know, there is one... Oof. Ooch, ow, owie. You should be back for the playoffs. As long as you don't have any setbacks. Jamel David, you get called up. Welcome to the big leagues, my friend. The heck? I am doing a confused. What is the thing? Is our playoff set up again? Oh, it's 8 teams. That's right. Yeah, it's the 2 division winners, and then it's 2 wild cards. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. But anyway, one of the things I was realizing is tanking to get a high draft pick wouldn't actually work for a very important reason. It wouldn't work because you would get relegated if that happened. Losing Jacob Jacobson is uncool. I mean, Jesus Guzman, it's your time to shine, but... I think this is our issue last season. I probably should have fired... I probably should have fired the trainer when we had all those injuries at the end of last season. Then again, I don't think any doctor can keep Gavin Miller healthy. I don't think the technology exists. Short of like the $6 million man. And we definitely can't afford that. Well, we made the playoffs again. That's exciting news. Yes! Oh, my stars. Thank you, friend. Thank you for your return. You just make us better. And I'm here for it. Nice. I won the division again. Despite having terrifyingly average pitching. Except for Ladin. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's a good start. That's less good. That's even less good. Oh, man. That is good. Let's do this thing, guys. Let's try to play through this game. We have very much more a Stars and Scrubs kind of feel to us, which is fine. That's kind of what we're looking at here. Let's check it out. It's apparently quite cold. Like, how cold is it? Nice. Suck on that, Mendeleev. Oh, wow. It is very cold. It's 38 degrees. We are in Prague in the wintertime, but I didn't think it'd be that cold. There we go. Mario Silva is quite scary. Brilliant. Reinhardt, do you have any skill at drawing blocks? You sure don't. So I'm just gonna let you do what you want, even though you'll probably not do great. I mean, or you could just launch a first pitch home run. That's fine too. Let's get the super stats replay of that thing. There's a 92-mile-an-hour sinker. Boom. That's excellent. Okay. And a nice little single as a treat. And, oh wow, an infield single, huh? Oh no, you tried to turn a double play and you failed. Okay. Womp womp. That is filthy, though. 82-mile-an-hour changeup to a 95-mile-an-hour sinker. That's wild. That's just good pitching. Oh, well. Oof. That ball is carrying tonight. Yeah, the wind is out to center, so we gotta be very, very cautious. This is kind of where I think it would be fun to have a way to, like, tell the pitcher how to pitch. I know it's not something the real general managers do all that often, but just being like, hey, try to keep the ball down, would be kind of dope. No, the perfect game is over. That's fine. Okay, don't give up a second. Oh, damn! What a play! Out at the plate. Can I get a cool replay of that one? Like, it was so weird because he just, like, stands there. And then the center fielder just throws it and nails him at the plate. Oh, that was great. That was clutch as shit, my guys. Clutch as shit. See, this guy knows what it's about. He's getting all the ground balls today. Well, except the one. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's an out. Very nice indeed. Damn it. Can you just stop effortlessly hitting every ball into the gaps? That would be glorious if you would quit. And here's the issue, right? Like, I can't pull him out of the game. Oh my god. That's a 2-run double. Man, I freaking hate it when the random number generator is just randomly like, your pitcher is going to allow every pitch to be extremely hittable. Oh my gosh. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, but it doesn't matter because they just blew him up. I can't keep him in the game. Let's bring in Joel Pascal. See, it's just like... And yes, it's a random number generator. Understood. You can't predict how this shit's going to work out, but still. It does seem like every time we play a playoff game, they hit the gaps easily with every pitch, and we're constantly struggling to even get one run. Like, see, we're hitting everything to the outfield, but it doesn't matter because it's all right at somebody. Which makes it very difficult to play at a high level. Oh, there we go. That's one out. Really, fucker? Really? When we're having not an amazing pitching game, that's when you play your best defense, not when you boot easy ground balls. There we go. Yep. I mean, this is a feature of every playoff game we ever play, is weak contact. All over the place. But it's not weak enough. Like, we don't get these little bullshit drops that fall right in front of the outfielder. We hit weak little fly balls that anybody can catch. Oh, see, there's one lucky swing, I suppose. But then we strike out, because that's apparently what I specialize in, is offenses that just vanish when the playoffs start. I need you to pitch well, Pascal. Thank you. There we go. If I can, I'd love to get 3 innings out of Pascal. I think that would help us settle down. Unlike a line drive right to the right fielder. I mean, why change what hasn't been working? See, there you go. Okay, Creighton O'Reilly, that was some clutch base running. I do appreciate that. That, not so much. Can we just not hit it directly at every fucking outfielder? Like, can we at least make them work really hard for it? That would be a very nice thing if you would stop fucking me over, game. Okay. Up here it comes. 1 base hit always equals 5 whenever we are playing a game. I mean, so far it's only 2 hits. Really, dude? Here's the thing, though. I don't want a lefty coming into face Mendeleev, but maybe that's what I have to do. Yeah, Pascal is gassed. I gotta pull him out of the game. There we go. Some timely pitching right there. Very appreciated. Walks Bertay. A base hit. Very nice. A base hit for Viora. Bases loaded. Come on, Schonenberg, excuse me. Really? A weak-ass ground ball is your decision there? Well, a fucking pass ball, but I can't make anything. There we go. A little seeing eye single to plate 2. That's the good stuff. Very nice. And Antonio Gonzalez strikes out. Oh, that was actually really close. We almost made a hit there. Okay, Neil. I'm going to need you to give me a quality inning here. Hey, fuckhead, you know what never starts a quality inning? A walk. That's pretty handy. Keep him at first, please. Oh no, that's trouble. What is with that terrible throw? That throw was awful, Bertay. Oh my god. Why do we do this? Why do we as a team decide that Yakety Sax becomes our theme the moment we get into the deep innings? Just a constant fucking comedy of errors. Okay, you can stop any fucking time now, guys. No, get the fuck out. You're done, Pennington. Really? You had to score another fucking run. Come on, game. Yeah, I don't want to hear you sing the fucking seventh inning stretch. I want to see my damn hitters hit the ball. I mean, solo shots are great. I'm not going to complain, but it's not going to really... I mean, it might help us. It might help us break through. Or we could just, you know, immediately follow a home run with an easy ground ball. And a strikeout. That's ideal. And all of a sudden, I am now cognizant of the fact that I just left in a lefty to face 3 incredibly dangerous righties. See? That's the shit that I find really frustrating. where you just go into the game and you just drive the ball right up the middle, and I can't do anything about it. Why the fuck are you bunting with a 2-run lead? What? That is such a weird decision, especially from a player that's actually fairly good. I am going to pitch around Mr. Next Guy. I'd rather walk him and have at least a chance to end the inning. There we go. Let's see. It's going to be the top of the 9th next inning, so I guess let's get Bajrami warming up. Like, I'm going to be real with you. I don't think it's going to matter. It's possible, of course. But when I'm swinging at bullshit like this, yeah. Wow, I'm sensing a theme here. Do you have a pitch that isn't a cutter? Or is it all just all cutter all the time? He does in fact have a curveball. He just apparently doesn't feel he needs to use it. Which, you know, just makes us look silly. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you we have no chance, but I'm also not going to sit here and tell you that there's any realistic chances of us coming back in this game. I think that ship sailed a couple innings ago. I mean, hey, Bajrami did his part. You know what else is going to do their part? We're going to pull out Gonzalez because I've got... Let's bring in Robin. No, Gonzalez can literally be the exact same player. Let's take some pitches. Let's make this guy work for it. I mean, when this cutter is this fucking effective, we're kind of screwed no matter what we do. Yeah, the man is nothing if not consistent. And that's a hard as hell pitch to hit, so... Like, we're just getting dominated by a really good relief pitcher. It's like Mariano Rivera was left-handed. Well, an infield hit for Crane and O'Reilly isn't a bad thing. Alright, Langlet, what can you do for us? Really? That kind of fucking horseshit double play like that? Because... It's fine. Frankly, I'm pretty shocked that we made it this far into the playoffs. That we even made the playoffs, because this team was not great. It was still good, don't get me wrong. But until we can unlock whatever issue we have whenever I play the games, maybe I just stop playing the games. Like, maybe that's the solution. Because quite clearly, yeah, maybe we just have to I just have to stop playing the games and see where that gets us. United States, eh? That sounds a bit sussy to me. Let's do Kuming. No, let's do front office and there's scouting, international. Invite more. There are some genuine talents in this particular draft, so we'll try to lock down a couple of interesting ones. Trevor Wog, the Orc. Trevor Wah, the Orc? Maybe. I can't prove he isn't an Orc. Man, Copenhagen gets to go to the fucking World Series against fucking Varna again. Man, that's some bullshit right there. That is some grade A bullshit. I don't understand how Varna is so freaking good. Like, they're not just good, they're like legendary. And my pitching coach just retired. I'm gonna get a new contract. That's nice. We will go over things momentarily. Let's talk about how the season actually went. Let's start with that, and then we'll go through what we have to do next season. Hey, we're great at base running this year. That's fun. So, we got big production from 2 players, specifically Bertay and Monomach. Now, Monomach was injured, which is kind of a downer, but he was pretty excellent when he did see the field. I don't know why Yvonne Langlet would ever play center field, but I guess that's fine. And he was actually genuinely a great player this season. He was definitely a much-needed source of offense. Hideo probably had his best offensive season as a catcher, because Val on-base percentage a little bit more, even his home runs are a tiny bit down. Crean and O'Reilly actually had a really good season. He bounced back in a big way. Knut Steuenberg is probably not a third baseman, but I guess there's worse choices, ? Kirschbaum is probably somebody we need to move on from. Or find a way to get him into a subsidiary role. Because he doesn't hit consistently enough to support his decent glove. I don't know what Eric O'Farron's deal is, but he had a decent year too. Antonio Gonzalez was terrible, but... So offensively, we pretty much got the job done in a lot of ways. We also strike out a lot. That is looking like a theme in all versions of the game, not just the A's. What about the pitching? It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. We had a lot of players that performed reasonably well given the circumstances, but we didn't have too many pitchers that excelled. Which is a shame, but it is also acceptable. And it is something we're going to have to fix in the future. Now, the good news is we have a couple choices to make some noise next year, and both Mr. Amakapane and Mr. Bonet. Both of them can probably get called up, and we won't miss too much of a beat. I'd love to get another starter or two. I'd love to get a second baseman that I can actually trust. But I've seen worse. For certain. I've seen worse. Let's make some decisions now, just so I don't forget about them next episode. We need a new pitching coach. You know me, guys. I love promoting from within. Is there an opportune pitching coach? Piakin is good. Harrer is good. Villa is excellent, but is also a really good manager, potentially. Lazar is good, and Edwards is good. So I have a lot of good. The best pitching coach by far is Jose Villa. I'd kind of like to keep him in my back pocket as a proper manager, but I do think he is likely to be better than any pitching coach we can find, but let's at least check. Nope. This dude right here, Mr. Popmeyer, would be a fine pitching coach. Fine indeed. Fine indeed. Team trainer. I would like somebody who is very, very good at rehabbing injuries. I want some degree of skill at preventing them too, but I probably have to pick one or the other. A guy like Yuana Azer is actually probably about as good as we're gonna get. This does concern me. That actually does concern me a lot. Maybe Kirill Lagutov is the better choice. He's only got 2 greens. No, you know what? Let's go for Glenn Anderson. I think this is my final answer. And we'll see how he works out for us. Any easy choices here? Nope. We got ourselves a whole bunch of hard choices. My favorite. Oh, let us absolutely execute his option. He was actually fantastic for us. Prague didn't have a baseball team 3 years ago. So how about you fucking settle down? Alright. I'd like to try to make one big signing before we end the episode. Somebody that I think will be very appropriate. I'm not offering you a qualifying offer. Nobody in their right fucking mind would offer you that much money. Like, to be honest, this is highway robbery. Like, I wouldn't even pay you 650 grand. Nope. What about, like, a 5-year deal? This is very fair. Really? You fucking cheap bastard. Okay, fine. Alright, we will talk next episode about who we want to try to keep. And then see what happens from there. Until next time, my friends, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.